NUA, net unrealized appreciation. NUA, what in the world is net unrealized appreciation? NUA sounds like a character from the Disney show Moana. And what better person to explain it than our very own Grant Soliven, who has some extensive background in talking about net unrealized appreciation, not only from the families that we help at FEG currently, but from his past career in the 401k space. And so, Grant, let's walk through net unrealized appreciation. But before we do that, just welcome back to Elements in Focus. Thank you so much for watching. For those of you that are new, Grant and I usually will go through one of our 5 critical elements each week, dissect a topic that we are getting feedback from our families on, and we've had a couple net unrealized appreciation scenarios that we've walked through over the past couple weeks. So Grant, I'm going to turn it over to you. Talk about NUA and just how we can relate that to the Disney character Moana. Just kidding.
Yeah, absolutely, Aaron. So being Polynesian or Pacific Islander myself, it's a perfect setup. So thank you. I'm about to say Moalo, my brother. Um, Now, looking at NUA, unrealized appreciation, typically where you find this is in a large company or company that's wanting to spread ownership of shares to its employees. So typically you do see it in larger corporations,
Mhm.
and where they'll say, hey, by the way, as part of your stock options package or part of your equity package, we're going to give you NUA. Now, net unrealized appreciation generally and most of the time goes into your 401k.
Yes.
Okay. And so that's something that's really important to understand. Why do they do that? Why don't they just give you like a normal stock option? Well, it's because of the tax treatments. What you have to understand about net unrealized appreciation is they're trying to give you the best tax treatment they can through the 401k plan. So when you get the cost basis of the shares, right, when you realize that stock, what happens is you have to pay ordinary income tax on the cost basis. So whatever the shares were purchased for or given to you at, you pay ordinary income tax on that, right? And then as the shares become sold over time, if you so choose to sell them or transfer them out of the 401k plan, then you'll have some capital gains tax, right? And you think, goodness gracious, that doesn't sound like tax preferential treatment. Well, actually, it is because you can defer that tax in the 401k plan over time. So this is a really powerful way for individuals to receive assets, ownership of the company, and receive tax preferential treatment in their 401k plan of the assets. So really cool way to do gifting, or really cool way of a company to entice employees,
Yeah.
right? To have ownership, to feel like they own the company, even if it's a small amount of shares, and profit from the hard work and labor they're putting in the organization. And oftentimes we have families that work for some very healthy, well-run organizations where they have a lot of NUA and stock options, and unwinding these can be a bit of a challenge if we don't understand
Mhm.
them. But if you're working for a large organization and you have net unrealized appreciation or stock inside of a 401k as part of your stock plan, they often coincide with stock options as well or employee stock plans. So if you've got NUA and you're working for an organization that does this, man, give us a call because
Yeah.
there's a lot of advantage that you have in owning this. And there's a lot of ways that we have tax preferential treatment in distributing these out of the plans.
So I have 2 follow-up questions before we kind of wrap up.
Of course.
One, from what I've seen in the past, we can gather larger asset sizes in company stock, right? So the company stock becomes a big piece of someone's portfolio. So one, you have to be careful about how much you have of stock that is company stock, just from a diversification standpoint. We want to make sure that you're not overly diversified, or not. Actually, that's the wrong terminology. Under diversified by having too much company stock. A lot of times the workers, they believe in the company, and that's exactly what you want. But just think of things like General Motors that had a huge issue in 2007 and '09 through the financial crisis. shares of that stock just drop tremendously. So we don't want you to be overexposed to the company stock just in case something unforeseen happens. Secondly, Grant, I just want to ask a question because you mentioned the term basis. So basis inside of the 401k plan, are you able to like roll that into a Roth IRA? Is that a strategy? Can you take the basis out and move that into a Roth IRA?
Great question. So you still gonna have to pay income tax on it, right? On
Okay.
that cost basis. But to Aaron's point, you can. Now understand this, very complicated process, and you cannot have your stock be put inside of your Roth 401k. It must be tax deferred because that cost basis needs to be taxed at some point. That's
One
just
other
the
question,
rule
real quick.
from the corporate or from the IRS. Go ahead, Aaron.
Sorry to interrupt. But when you say tax, isn't it taxed at capital gains rates versus income tax? Or how does
So
that
that's
work?
So that's the thing about net unrealized appreciation, right? So stock options are generally have capital gains rates that are just act like normal. But when it comes to NUA specifically, the cost basis, the shares that are given or purchased must be taxed at ordinary income rates first. And that is a
Okay.
very big difference in NUA versus the other option strategies.
Thank you for clarifying those. I just wanted to make sure those points were covered. If you do have net unrealized appreciation or you have company stock and you don't even know if you have net unrealized appreciation, and this video sparked some questions, please reach out to us. Schedule a complimentary next steps meeting. That's where one of our team members will walk you through our process to make sure that we're giving you the best advice for your situation. You can call us at 800-928-4001. One of our team members will be there to pick up the phone and get a meeting scheduled with one of the advisors on the team. If you have specific questions, go to talktofeg@yourlifeafterwork.com. You can scan the QR code or go to yourlifeafterwork.com. We are very accessible, ready and willing to walk you through your unique financial journey. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day.
Hi, I'm Sam Neff, Certified Financial Planner with the Financial Enhancement Group. If you're interested where you stand personally, please click the link below and you can create a profile, and a member of our team will reach out to talk about where you stand within the 5 critical elements on your financial journey. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to speaking to you soon.